From FXEmpire, this is Chris taking a look at the nat gas markets. We formed a shooting star during the at the close, kind of sold off kind of late in the day on Wednesday, and Thursday is looking very much the same. So not a huge surprise. This is where we fell from previously. You have to think the bust through 650 is going to be a pretty monumental move, historically speaking, for that matter. So I do think that we fall. I think we're getting really close to that swing trade I've been talking about. Quite frankly, we went much higher than I anticipated. That happens. But the risk to reward is now much greater. Anything above 650, you have to bail. But if we break these two candlesticks here, I'm shorting this. I figure your first stop is, or your first target is probably 550. But quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised eventually to see it all the way down to 350. It's a long-term call, obviously, but nat gas has no business whatsoever being this high. A lot of talk about the Europeans importing more U.S. LNG. It's not going to do any good. They don't have the facilities to regasify LNG at much more of a pace than they already do now. So Europeans are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Germany talking about coal, for that matter. That being said, mid-70s next week in the northeastern part of the United States, that will just crush demand. So I would also point out that if we break above 650, that'll probably crush demand eventually as well. For those of us of a certain age, remember in the late 70s, early 80s, your parents getting on you about the thermostat. Well, that's because gas was much more expensive then as well.